What's going on, everybody? I tried my best Caleb Williams impression there. My best way I could make the word everybody sound zesty or crazy as possible. I can't get enough of watching this Caleb Williams draft content. It's been hilarious.
The Bears.
The Bears, he's like freaking, I swear to God, this guy is like a cartoon character. I said it yesterday in a podcast. Caleb Williams is like if Jackson got all of Patrick's athletic ability, but still had Patrick's personality or Jackson's personality on the field. It would be like if Jackson was in the NFL.
Who's
Am
Jackson?
I wrong? Yeah. Jackson's his dancing TikTok brother, the guy who danced on Lawrence Taylor's 21.
Oh, Jackson Mahomes. Yes.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Seriously, though, I mean, it's interesting about the Bears because we thought that we won the draft. They think that they win the draft. But what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Sippin' Sports. We're going to dive right in for you. I don't want to go too much into Chicago because I know I have a lot of Philly sports fans who will be like, this is a Philly sports show. What are you talking about that for?
Yeah, we don't need that deep dish crap.
There you go. KJ's already let me know. But
I
did have a quick way I wanted to start the show. So they asked AI who won the draft. And there were 5 teams that were picked, and we're going to talk about them at the end of the show, but I want you guys to start brainstorming them throughout the show. The Bears, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Chiefs, fair. Chargers, fair. Bills. Which of these is not like the other, guys? Tell us in the comments. Tell us at the end of the show. Which of these 5 teams do you guys think did not win the NFL draft? And shout out to the 33rd team on Instagram for the graphic. They crushed it with that. But let's go ahead and get the depressing part of the show out of the way here, KJ. I mean,
oh man,
it's well, we won't do it yet. Actually, sorry,
not yet.
Myself. I'm so excited to actually talk about Tobias Harris being gone, guys. But I'll hold my patience.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
The Phillies, man, I'm loving that hat. I'm loving the way this team's playing. This team's rolling, KJ. How you feeling about it?
I'm feeling great. I was at the ballpark last night, and that place was rocking. I mean, it was really. I'll tell you, it was the second time of me seeing these city shitty uniforms. And I'll tell you, it is hard to really realize that that's the Phillies, but I'm kind of getting used to it. Like, okay, yeah, that's the Phillies. But yeah, they were doing great yesterday. Trey Turner was getting on base. He was stealing as well. So the team looked great. They really did. So it was a good win. They won 4-3. But yeah, they got it. They're leading in the division right now. Like they have 22 wins right now. They're beating the Braves. The Braves have 20. Suck it, Braves fans. So yeah, we're winning the division right now. We're looking good. Like one of the best baseball teams right now, record wise, in the MLB right now. So it's great to say that. I'm pumped to say that. And this team is rocking and rolling.
It's fun. It's a really fun team. I heard somebody say that, I think it was actually Devin Caney said. It was somebody, though, said this is the most fun Phillies team we've had in decades, possibly ever. The personalities on this team, it's going to be tough to find guys like this again and put them all on one roster. Like when you think about all the guys on this team that are characters, that are funny, that are good at what they do. Like, everybody has a story to them. That's why I really, really want to see the Phils take it this year and give me and KJ a parade on Broad Street where me and both of our skinny asses are going to be trying to climb up grease poles. Who knows? No, I'm kidding. But seriously, it's long overdue. The last time we had a parade here, I showed KJ a joke last week. I had Bell's palsy at that last parade, ironically.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to it a little bit too. But oh my God, I mean, the Phillies are making us proud. Would you say, KJ, let me ask you a question. Out of all 4 Philly sports teams, would you say that the Phillies are in the best position to win a championship right now?
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. I really feel like the Phils, I mean, obviously last year they feel like they have some unfinished business to attend to. I mean, obviously the disappointing loss we had in the series against the Diamondbacks, I think is always a pondering thought in our mind. Like, dude, if we didn't put Craig Kimbrell in that game, man, we could have had that series. and we should have ended it. So I think they really want to just put the pen to the paper and really just uh, like grind the season out and really just go to work. And as you said before, it's a fun group of guys for sure. But I mean, we've had these same kind of guys for a little while now. It seems like the only changes really are from the some of the pitchers a little bit. But then I mean, you got Turnbull, but then also I mean, you got some utility players like Whit Merrifield, which I think it's fun to say his name, obviously, because Wiz Wit and everything like that. So yeah,
There
for
it is.
all the cheesesteak lovers out there like myself, it's pretty cool. But yeah, this team is they have I think they actually do have the best opportunity because I thought it would be the Sixers, but I think I was just kidding myself to be honest, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. So don't worry, Sixers fans, um, don't worry.
I feel like you and I are both excited to lay into this team because we've both been waiting. But I'll say this about the Phillies. I can see the look on his face and my
I'm
face.
ready.
KJ and I have been friends long enough. Like, yeah, Sixers, get ready. Point
Yeah,
being,
oh yeah,
the Phillies right now are just so fun to watch. They're doing everything right. I actually really think that this would be the year that they would win it. And if they don't, that's when I start to hit the panic button. They're young. They're very young. I think a big instrument to their success is 100% Alec Boehm's growth this year.
yeah.
I mean, for me, that's kind of been a theme of the season.
And
We got
he did great
Angelo.
yesterday too. He did great.
Yeah, he did.
He had an RBI. He was looking great yesterday. So solid game for Alec Bohm for sure.
Boehmer, baby. And shout out to Angelo and Sam. First off, I want to say morning, Sam. Welcome, welcome.
Morning,
Hope you got your
morning.
coffee.
Hello,
Thanks for joining us, as always. And Angelo saying, first Phillies to win a championship,
Willis.
second Eagles to win a championship, Willies, Weagles, hopefully if they're winning, and then the
Wet
Wixers.
Willies.
KJ's giving a wet willy out here. I think that this is actually a legitimate pathway for Philly sports. I think that this makes sense. Phillies do it 2024. Eagles do it February of 2025, same season. Legit. The Eagles should win, and we'll get to all that later in the show too. But like the Eagles and Phillies are built to win this year, and if they don't, so yeah, both those make sense.
Yeah,
Sixers, I don't know, man. I'm kind of like revoking my fandom right now.
yeah.
It's been pretty bad. Mitch, what's going on? Good
Mitch,
morning, brother.
Mitch.
So we got next topic being who's to blame? And Mitch, your timing is perfect. I know you're a
Oh
big
yeah.
Sixers fan, but KJ McCoy, I'm going to go ahead and put the pressure on you, my brother. Who's more to
Oh,
blame? The coaching, the players, the fans, ownership, or a combination of it all?
I honestly think it's 100% ownership. I really do. I think it's mostly ownership, and I think that's because of this whole. I guess if you can look at the whole debacle, the whole just like timeline of the process in general. I mean, you could just think of like all the draft picks we traded up for, which could have set us up. Jaleel Okafor. We traded Drew Holiday, who's doing great for the Celtics right now, for Nerlens Merlins, the Wizard Newell. Um, so him, and then I mean, you could keep on just going on and on and on about what players and what kind of players we missed up on. Mikal Bridges, one of them as well, who would have been great because that would have been great to have Lowry and Mikal Bridges because they feel like a real Villanova kind of game, even though I don't like Villanova. Um, but yeah, that'd be really cool because I want good players for this team. And it just seems like the organization has just done so much missing, and they haven't honestly given Joel Embiid the right talent around him. The only time they did that, to be honest, was with Jimmy Butler. And as Jimmy Butler said, Tobias Harris over me? That's what he said. And honestly, I am with him 100%. Why the heck would you pick Tobias Harris, a guy who literally wasn't an all-star caliber player? He did decent with the Clippers. You trade for him in that whole trade, I think with Boban. Yeah, Boban Marjanovic, you got him as well. Boban's gone, obviously. But you kept Tobias Harris because you believe in him. Believe in him. What did he do last game, Dolt? What did he do?
Goose egg.
Goose egg, 0 points. the guy, honestly, and I was telling Dalt this too, and we're probably going to make this list next week. I think Tobias Harris is honestly the most hyped up Philadelphia sports player to literally fail in this city. I used to say it was Namdi Asamoah. No, it is Tobias Harris now. He is number one. And I hate to say it because
Wait,
I like to
Asamoah
say,
was your one? That's actually a really good one. Like, do you have a list? Like, can you give me like just like a list off the top of your head? Like, do you have like a top three?
oh, yeah, yeah. Top
Okay.
three. You can go
Tobias
now.
is one
It's
now. I
so,
get that. That's a good
yeah, he's
one.
one now. I would go two. I would actually go with Ben Simmons. I would go Ben Simmons.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
um, because I think he did have a decent career at first, but then obviously it went to a downfall. And I mean, the whole pass up that he did to give to who was it? Matisse Thybulle, and that really screwed him up for sure. And then just him just sitting out and doing all this bull crap that he did. But number three, I would probably go Namdi Asamoah. I would go Namdi Asamoah. He was hyped up though to be a great corner, and really, I mean, with the dream team and everything like that. I thought he was going to be for sure a great player for this team, and he was awful. So with the Tobias Harris whole debacle and everything like that, I just think it's so aggravating because you pay him what was it? I think it was like it's like 80 million or something like it's something crazy.
Woo!
Something crazy. I'm not good when it
Goosey.
comes yeah, and I'm not good when it comes to salary and crap like that, okay? Um but it's something crazy. And the guy is just not worth it at all. He's a bum. I wish I listened to Chaos Chris when he told me when I met him, tell him that Tobias Harris sucks. I wish I listened to him. And honestly, if I could trade a crumble cookie for him, you know what cookie I would eat? And they don't even have it. It doesn't even exist. A pickle cookie. A pickle cookie. Because you know what? I would honestly, you know what? I would go through the pain of eating a pickle cookie than going through the pain of having Tobias Harris struggle and struggle, give us maybe like a 15-point game. Then the next game, go goose egg, freaking goose egg. Tobias Harris is a disgrace to Philadelphia sports. He's another guy that should never show his face here in Philadelphia ever again. And if he comes back with another team, like he plays for the Pistons, Detroit, take him back. The Pistons can take him back. We will boo him like he will be booed never before. I think he'll be booed
He's
more
gonna
than
be
Ben
booed if
Simmons.
he's gonna be booed more if he comes back next year.
He will be booed more than Ben Simmons. And I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think that was possible at all. This guy will be booed more than Ben Simmons. But it just really sucks because, I mean, I've been frustrated with Joel Embiid, to be honest. But I mean, I'm not so frustrated anymore because the guy did score 30 plus points in his last game. He tried his hardest. And as you said before, Bell's palsy. He was going through Bell's palsy. The guy was obviously going through injuries when he was playing. I mean, his knees are screwed up. You got to give him credit because they literally have not given him the right team around him. And that's really up to the organization. That's Daryl Morey. That goes with Josh Harris. The organization has failed Joel Embiid, and it really sucks because he really believed in the whole trust the process. I trust the process. I believe in Sam Hinkie. But Sam Hinkie was gone, obviously. And then you just see the debacle of just, I hate saying the word debacle still. I keep on saying it. You give Brett Brown the GM job, you give a bunch of other people the GM job, and it really just sucked. It sucked the life out of this team. And I really am sorry for Joel Embiid. But yeah,
I'll say this.
that's who I blame it on. Not Joel.
I was listening to, I think it was Ike Reese yesterday,
Yep.
went off on 94 WIP. I don't know if you heard it, but he basically
Yeah.
said, when is enough enough? When do we stop making excuses for this Sixers team? When do we just accept that this team is not going to be what we want it to be and basically stop investing our emotional self into it? Because every year we find a way to make an excuse for the Sixers every year to just say, hey, maybe you know what, it might be next year. And as I was listening to Ike Reese talk about it, I just resonated so much with it as a fan because It's been my whole life as a Sixers fan. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. Maybe
Yep.
next year. We were too young to really understand the finals against the Lakers
Yeah,
with
we were
Iverson and Lou.
we were in diapers, and I mean, yeah.
Exactly. So,
So
you're not really comprehending that. Even the Eagles' first Super Bowl, your family's telling you, but you're a kid. You have no clue
we remember
what's
the first.
going
We
on.
remember the Super Bowl. I mean, when they
I
won.
remember it, but I don't
Oh, you
know
mean when they
what.
lost?
Yeah, to the Patriots 2004,
Okay,
even that
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
I
I
briefly
remember
remember it.
wearing a jersey and stuff. I had no clue any of the players except for maybe McNabb and Westbrook. So it
Yeah,
wasn't to the same extent of fandom is what I'm trying to say.
right,
For
right.
the Sixers, I don't blame the fans. The fact that a lot of people want to put this on the fans, it baffles me. The
Yeah,
players want to put it on the fans, baffles me. What? First
no,
off, like
yeah. I don't think
KJ
it's the
just said,
fans.
it's ownership.
Yeah,
Ownership needs to do a better job and put a better product out on the court. If you're not putting a good product out on the court, I'm not spending my money on it. I'm not
yeah,
going to go to the stadium to pay for parking, to pay for 2 tickets because you got to get one and for your significant other, or if you're going with a friend, whatever. So you're usually getting 2 tickets. Who goes to a game alone? Not a lot of people. Serial killers. No, I'm kidding. People do. People do. But a lot of times you're buying 2 tickets. Then you're buying parking. Then you're buying food. Then you're buying drinks. It's a whole night. And if you go out on a date or something, maybe you go to the gift shop, you end up buying a stuffed animal. Or if you're a parent and you have a family, you could have a couple kids. That could be a night well over $1,000. We were talking about this at work this week. So you're spending your hard-earned money on a team that is just going to fucking choke against the Knicks.
yeah.
What's the purpose? Why? Why am I going to do that? Why am I going to say, hey, I worked my ass off this week. This is worth it for me. When I could go to the Phillies, or I could go to the Eagles, or I could go to the even damn fucking Flyers,
I went to the
who were
Union.
more
I went to the
consistent.
Union the night that it was the one that we won, and we were in, and Maxie hit those shots that were crazy. Um, I literally went to the Union game with PSG, shout out to Philly sports guy, and Chaos Chris, because honestly, and you know me, I'm pretty loyal to the Sixers, but I was like in give up mode because like I just saw like they didn't have any fight in them. And then obviously I saw they did have fight. Tyrese Maxey had fight. He
Yep.
does. He has it. But as you said before, the problem is, yeah, I don't blame it on the fans at all. Because if you look and if you go up a little bit north though, what the New York Knicks fans were doing, it's crazy, and this baffles me because we as Philly sports fans get all this heat. Oh, you guys threw snowballs at Santa Claus. Oh my God. Like that's what you guys did. And it's like, dude, did you see what the Knicks fans were doing? Like they were literally in front of Wells Fargo Center, making a pile like you're piling leaves for the fall, and you're getting all your leaves out and whatever. But they made a big pile, and they literally of all this Sixers gear, and they were burning it. They were stomping on it. God, maybe if there's no people around, they'd probably start pissing on it. Like, dude, it it's crazy because we get all this heat as Philly sports fans, and right there, no one says any crap about the Knicks fans or any of the New York fans. And I'm not saying all of them are like that because we know a good amount of New York Knicks fans and New York sports fans in general that are cool people and would never do any of that kind of stuff. And Knicks fans are lucky they didn't get like clocked by someone. They're lucky
Mm-hmm.
because the Sixers, you don't really have anything to clock
Did you
anybody
see the
about.
one fight that Kyle Pagan got after the game? So I don't know if you saw in Crossing
Yeah,
Broad. There was this Knicks fan running his mouth. I'm not one to physically usually insult people,
yeah.
but Knicks fans, I'm sorry. I'm still feeling the pain. Dude was shaped like a potato, talking smack to this Sixers fan. And he clearly did not have the ass to back it up in the fight. And it's like the funniest fight ever because it's basically like two just fucking, like, as Kyle Pagan describes in the video, two bucks, two fucking
Yeah.
alphas. Just these two dudes with these big heads. One's a Sixers fan, one's a Knicks fan, going at each other outside Wells Fargo. And all it ends up being is a it's just fucking barking. They never did shit. I think a 1 or a 2 shove happened, and that was that.
Oh
But
my
you're
God.
right, KJ. The fans aren't to blame. The fans are
No,
frustrated, if
they're not.
anything. I mean, the fact that they had to invest $2,000 into tickets to give out to people for free,
And they
that should
lost.
be an eye-opening experience for the Sixers ownership. Like, okay, we have a problem. Like, this is a big problem.
Yeah.
And that goes actually beautifully into our next topic because it can't be just Maxey and Embiid all the time. It
No,
can't
you need
be
that
just
third
these two
guy.
guys throughout the season, throughout the
Yeah.
playoffs. It can't always be them leading. So we need to go out and find someone in the free agency.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of names looming. I'll
Yeah.
wait a second on that. But do you have
Yep.
anybody else besides that
I
big
do.
name that we'll hint to in a second that you would like?
I do. So obviously, our third player was going to be. I mean, we thought it was Tobias Harris, but I knew for a fact when we made the decision to take Tobias over Jimmy, that was a problem. But Tobias is most likely, I'm going to say 98% gone. I'm just going to say they could do something stupid and boneheaded the Sixers. They could, but I'm going to say it's a 2% chance of them doing this. I actually think that they could do a reverse and bring back Jimmy Butler to the Sixers. He is a free. Well, you got to monitor the situation. You got to monitor the situation with the Heat. He did say he wishes he was still a Sixer. He literally said that this season. He said he loved playing with Joel. He wishes that they picked him over Tobias. So I would love to get Jimmy back here, reunite him, kind of do the whole thing like we did with CJ Gardner Johnson, burn the bridges, okay? Burn the bridges and get him back here. That would be great. Another guy, too, to monitor the situation is Paul George from the Clippers. Obviously, they just lost yesterday to the Mavs. It was a close first half. They were tied at 52-52. But then the Clippers just downfalled, and it was great to see James Harden crying. And that was hilarious. So I'll say that. But yeah, I think those two guys, Jimmy Butler and Paul George, and Dalt, you want to get into this is crazy. I never thought I would ever be saying this. But you know what? When you have a chance to get one of the greatest players of all time, I don't see why you don't go for it.
So,
And
like
it's this guy.
KJ's saying, I have had this photo on my phone saved since like 2018,
Yep.
2019, I think. I love the guys that KJ just suggested. KJ, thank you. KJ is way more of a Sixers fan than me, guys. So I let him take more of the analysis. What he's doing right now is he's giving me a gift. Let me tell you guys. Bring him home. Bring home
LeBron James.
LeBron James. That
LeBron James.
LeBron James jersey will go hard,
Yeah.
hard in Philly. And Bronny, when you think about it, he could go play another year, hypothetically, at Villanova. So it
He could.
actually all makes sense. I would rather Bronny just go in the draft and the Sixers just go after Bronny because it's like, fuck it at that point. Like LeBron, I'll put it to you this way. When LeBron comes on the team and whatever team Bronny goes on, which is where LeBron's going to go, he's going to go crazy. He's going to
Yeah.
make sure that they get a championship that season
Yeah.
because he wants to have that legacy. How crazy would it be in NBA history to see a father-son duo win an NBA championship? Not
Yeah.
only have they ever not played on the same team together, you know what? We're going to take it up one step further. Let's crank it up a level. Let's go win a championship together. And what better place to do it than Philadelphia?
Yeah.
LeBron James, come
Yeah.
to Philadelphia. I'm about it.
That'd be crazy. And I know that he is now a Cowboy hater. So all the people saying that he's a Cowboys fan, he was,
The
but for
Madden team, right?
some reason he's not a Cowboys fan anymore. He said he is not, and he does not support the organization anymore. There's a lot of photos of him when he was younger, of him wearing a Donovan McNabb jersey and an Eagles hat, which is pretty cool. So that would be super cool. Like that would probably be like a profile pic of mine for sure. I am not the biggest LeBron fan, but if it can help the organization out, I will push my LeBron kind of where I feel like MJ is a GOAT. I will push that away because you know what? To get a guy who could still play at the level he plays at,
You're going to get MJ to come out of retirement and play at that level for us or something? I think LeBron's a pretty good close second.
Get MJ to get back. I mean, he'd probably go back with the team that he owns, the Hornets or something like that. He'd probably go back with them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy because if you get a chance to get this guy, that would be insane. Now, the thing with Bronny is, and the reason he isn't going to the draft yet, he hasn't proven anything yet, really, in college basketball yet. I think he only averages maybe like 5 points a game. Like, it's nothing really crazy yet. So he's really kind of just building himself up. And he could be like what there is with like the Mavericks right now. They have a player named Derek Lively who was not really that big of a college basketball player, but he was a great high school player, actually played at Westtown, and he's doing great for the Mavericks right now. So Bronny could transfer really, like, he could transfer his game really, like, he could transcend really, though, in the NBA. He could be a better NBA player than a college basketball player. So that would be really great. But yeah, I'm willing to put my fandom my old hatred for LeBron, because I was always mad that he left Cleveland the way he did. But then he brought a championship back for them. And then I started to not really like him again because I didn't like how he gave up on the Lakers one time when they were losing to the Suns by like 30 points and he left the game. I was like, dude, like, you can't leave the game, man. Like, literally, the game's going on and you just leave and go back to the locker room. He wasn't hurt, wasn't anything like that. He just had enough. And now it seems like he's had enough with the Lakers organization. I mean, they've gone through like 3 coaches with him, maybe 4 if I'm not mistaken. So he just feels like it's just not going to work out and whatever. And it's unfortunate for that situation. But could he come to Philly? As crazy as it seems, it might be a possibility. It might
Would
be.
you get his jersey?
Yeah, I think I would.
You just said you hated him.
No, I said I think. No.
You're going to put your beef aside with him.
I said that I would put my beef aside. I said that.
But then you'll get his jersey.
I said I put my beef aside because.
Oh my gosh.
Because I was a fan of. So think about this: 9-year-old KJ was at the
Young Mac.
Yeah, Young Mac. This was 2009, 2010 year. This is a year right before LeBron left to go to Miami. I was there with my brother, my dad, and my childhood friend. And we went to go see LeBron, and Shaq was playing, actually, because it was Shaq's only year with the Cavs. The funny thing was, my brother and his friend were wearing LeBron James jerseys. At the moment, it was just like, like when you're young and whatever, you don't really realize that's your home team's playing and whatever. But I was wearing Sixers gear, but I was also like, you know what though? Like, I had a sign that says, "Welcome to." I wish I still had the picture of it because I could totally Photoshop it. I said, "Welcome to Philly," and it was like it was a picture of LeBron in a Cavs jersey, obviously. But I had, that was the only time I ever brought a sign to a game. The only time ever. So that was interesting. So that
We'll
would
have to
be
change
crazy,
that then.
though.
I want to bring a couple signs to a couple games this year.
But yeah, I'm willing. If he is on our team, though, I'm willing to put my old hatred for him, my off and on hatred for LeBron. And I think honestly, though, you're gonna see some people. If we get LeBron, I'm telling you this right now, Dolt, there's going to be some people that boycott the Sixers, though, for real.
Yes, but hey, hear this out.
For real, they will, because they hate LeBron as a person. They hate him as a player. But I want a good basketball team. I want to be able, as Dolt said, I want to be able to actually, my hard work and money, I want it to actually pay off. And I want to be able to see some great basketball. And I think LeBron would love to come to a city like Philly. I mean, I think he knows the tradition here. Allen Iverson, Dr. J. There's been some great players. So I think he would love to do that. I mean, he did that tradition with the Lakers. He tried to do that. He tried to do what the Lakers had, but obviously the Lakers just didn't give him the right pieces and everything like that. And hopefully the Sixers, I mean, if he comes here, you had the right pieces already. That's all. You got Maxey and you got Embiid. So you got to win.
Him and Embiid can go downtown, go to paint. If they draft, I already saw somebody's lineup. If they draft Bronny, keep Oubre, put Maxey at point guard. Who's to say? Who's to say? I mean, it would be a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
This solves the Sixers' problem of lacking attendance. Because I will
Yeah.
say this, KJ, you're 100% right. There's going to be a lot of people that boycott the Sixers.
Yes.
Fuck this team. I don't stand for this. Or like, you know what I mean? Like there's going to be LeBron gets political. That's a big thing too. So many people I think are going to boycott the Sixers. But you're also going to get on the flip side, the Bron-sexuals. All the people that just go with LeBron James, whatever team he goes to. They went with him from Cleveland to Miami to LA. And I could see, and no disrespect to those people, they're certain kind of fans. I know a few of them.
Yeah, I know some
end
too.
up being a Sixers fan then. And it's like, what if LeBron ends up retiring with the Sixers? What if LeBron ends up winning a championship with the Sixers? Those people are probably going to end up still being a Sixers fan because they're going to love watching Embiid, Maxey.
Yeah.
LeBron's only got 1 or 2 years, 3 max left in the tank, I think.
Yeah.
So
and then he'll do
it's
ownership.
crunch time for him. He needs to make that decision and figure out where he wants to go. But I think that this is a win-win for the Sixers and for LeBron. It's a win for the Sixers because it's like, okay, let's sell our tickets now. Let's get attendance. Let's get people at fucking playoff games. That's a start.
Yep.
And then for LeBron, it's like, let me go, like you just highlighted to KJ, a historic basketball city where my son can play basketball. If he wants to play another year of college, I'm comfortable. I'm in a new system and I'm playing with the other best player in the NBA. So if you have like LeBron and Embiid together, I just think that that would be an absolutely lethal combo. Like those two guys in crunch time, there's very few teams I see them losing to. And like LeBron is such like a coach, you know what I mean? Like a coach player that he's like, all right, shut the fuck up, Nick Nurse. Listen, Embiid, here's what we're doing. And honestly, I think Nick Nurse would be like, okay, I'm fine with that. Like you two are old enough to where you have that experience, you have that veteran leadership that you can call the shots in crunch time of a game.
Yeah. And Nick Nurse, I feel like, is the perfect coach. I still believe in his coaching with the Sixers. I don't believe that, that decision to keep in Tobias over Buddy Hield was stupid. But I think he can learn from that. And I don't feel like it's a... One second.
Hey. All good. I'll take it real quick. Nick Nurse, KJ's right. Nick Nurse walked into hell. Nick Nurse walked into a very shitty situation as a Sixers fan. I mean, as a GM, it doesn't get worse than that, right, my guy?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. It does not get any worse. Honestly, I think for Nick Nurse, I think he's the perfect coach. If LeBron does come here, which would be crazy, I think he's the perfect coach to really figure this out, this whole thing, and being able to really blend Joel Embiid's game, Tyrese Maxey's game, and LeBron James's game all together and pinpoint it on one team. I think it's great. It's not like we got Doc Rivers who just keeps on choking in the playoffs, and then people are like, oh, he's going to win a championship with the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks, what happened? It's okay, though. I could say the same thing for the Sixers. Sixers, what happened? So I know that you guys were going to say that already, so I beat you to it.
It's all right. James Droz made a video. I'm going to react to it today, I think, and post it, but I went off. And it's all love. It's all good fun. James and I actually follow each other, which is random as hell. I think he saw me screaming at my TV because if you guys don't know anything about James, James is, I guess, a Chiefs and Cowboys fan, is it?
Yes. Yes, he is.
So he probably loves every Batman needs a Joker. That's one of my favorite quotes. Hey, James, Dallas Cowboys. What the hell happened? Cowboys are somehow... I made a whole video about this on our page, guys. So go check it out on our YouTube if you haven't. But the Cowboys are somehow ranked at plus 1,700 to win the Super Bowl next year. Same spot as the Eagles. What? The Texans and the Bengals and the Bills, okay, the Bills I get, that's fine, are all ranked over the Eagles in Super Bowl favorites next year. That is wild to me. That is nuts that the Eagles have one bad playoff game, lose against Baker Mayfield, who I actually think the Bucs are a better team than a lot of people give them credit for. They were built kind of right when Tom Brady was there. Tristan Wirfs, don't sleep on him. I know he wasn't there, but I think he was injured. I might be mistaken on that. But he'll be at full speed next year. Buccaneers, I think, are going to be a pretty decent team this year. They surprised a lot of people last year. But
Yeah.
my point being, the Philadelphia Eagles fall flat on their face. I totally get it. And the fact that people want to put the Cowboys and us on the same level after that free agency, after KJ and I on the whole car ride down to Florida, screaming about Saquon and CJGJ, all the emotions that came with free agency, they go out and have a draft like this. They get Quinyon Mitchell. They get Cooper DeJean. They get Trotter Jr. They get Will Shipley. They get I'm drawing a blank on Spencer Keegan, is it? The guard that they picked up
Tyler
out of
Keegan.
Michigan.
Tyler Keegan.
Kyler, sorry.
Yeah, Tyler, yep.
Stud. The whole draft, I am thrilled with. The only pick I might have done a little bit differently, and we didn't get to really talk about this last week because we did the show before the draft, right before, was Will Shipley.
Yep.
Maybe would have done that a little bit differently, but honestly, I'm not mad at it because we get Trotter Jr. in the end. We got everything we needed, and now looking at this roster on paper, the Eagles won the draft. They have the best roster in the NFL, and the fact that they're ranked 8th in Super Bowl favorite on DraftKings is baffling to me.
Hey, you know what? That's great. I mean, because then you know what, betting guys, try and bet the Eagles Super Bowl. Then you know what, make more money. Go
17
for
to 1 odds, dude. If you put $100, you win 1,700. I just did it.
That's crazy.
That's my investment. $1,700 coming my way next year. And at worst case scenario, I said hedge it, cash out when they're 10-1 and the Super Bowl favorite when you see the Fox Sports graphic.
Oh, geez. Yeah. I think it's crazy that the Cowboys really didn't make a splash in this draft at all, because they didn't make a splash in free agency at all. They had a chance to get Derrick Henry. They had the money to get Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry said he wanted to go to Dallas. He's from Dallas. And guess what happened? They didn't even give him an offer. And that kind of sounds familiar to all those the Giants fans that are whining out there saying that, oh, Saquon's a traitor. He also didn't get an offer from an organization, the Giants. He did not get an offer. So that's what happened. Jerry Jones didn't press the snooze button. He didn't wake up. He didn't realize that he should have got Derrick Henry, and he re-signed back good old Zeke Elliott. The guy who eats and eats and eats and eats and eats. So have fun with Zeke Elliott, Cowboys fans. Have fun. Because you guys should have got Derrick Henry. That would have been a great matchup, though. Even as an Eagles fan, I wanted to see the matchup of Saquon versus Derrick Henry. I mean, think about that right now, Dalt. Like, of the money from that too. Like, that's a crazy matchup. Two great running backs, veteran running backs, legendary running backs for sure, going at it against each other. And I mean, twice a year. That would have been crazy. We do get to see Derrick Henry when we hopefully go to Baltimore to go see them play the Eagles. So we'll get to see Derrick Henry.
Shout out to Uncle Rich if you're watching.
Shout out to Uncle Rich. We appreciate you. Thank you. We really do. So hopefully we get to Baltimore and we get to see the Eagles take on the Ravens, which should be a amazing game. It should be a competitive game for sure.
Could you imagine that historic? I just want to talk about that for a second too. Like that game next year, Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. Do you know when it is? Is it in October too? Like when the weather's still kind of warmer?
I don't know.
Well, I guess we don't know yet because they haven't released the official schedule. But
they
if they
haven't
do that
released
game,
the official schedule yet, so we're hoping though. Hey, Goodell or whoever does the scheduling, please put it in October.
Or before. Anytime before November 1st is all I was just going to say. I'm happy with. I mean, that would be crazy. Nice fall day, cool breeze, 55 degrees, good old football. Woo!
That'd be great. Which, though, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if it's cold because, I mean, with Eagles games, I don't feel any of that crap. I don't feel the coldness. I mean, because I start getting warmed up myself, dude. I'm like a cold-blooded person. That's just like, I mean, I'm not cold-blooded like mean or whatever, obviously, but just like I mean that I don't feel the cold. I really just don't. When I'm in an Eagles game, I don't care if I'm freezing my butt off. I don't care at all. I don't feel it.
In all fairness, too, I will say you and I have been going to Eagles games. Shout out to Papa McCoy and Papa Holland for raising us right. But we've been
Yes,
going to Eagles games our whole life. So it's like we know what we're doing too. So it's like you're not going to go to an Eagles game in January like some of these bozos from California. Like I saw a couple Cardinals fans when we played them on New Year's Day and when we were there. And I'm like jeans, sweatpants under, wigwam socks. If you know, you know, like Nike socks on under that, Uggs, like the whole nine. I think I had on, that was the day I had on the shiesty. I was shiesty Dalt that day, and I had on my hat. Then I see like these couple of Cardinals fans are like, they have on like a ball cap and like, what is it? Cardinals, like just a hoodie. And one of them was thinking about buying Eagles knit cap, but couldn't do it. Couldn't get the pride. The guy was trying to sell it to him. He's like, "Oh, do you have any Sixers ones or anything? I can't wear an Eagles one today, but if you have any of the other teams, maybe I'll wear that." And the guy's like, "Nah, man, you gotta wear the Eagles if you're around here." And I'm like, oh, I love this street merchant. Like, go fucking Birds. This is what it's all about. But
go when we play Birds teams, I refuse to say go Birds.
Nah, they stole that shit from us. Fuck the Cardinals.
Well, they stole Bird Gang from us.
They stole a lot of stuff from us.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah. Those freaking Angry Birds over there. Go back to your freaking game and start slingshotting birds, okay, buds?
Hey, just like Tobias Harris. His points. They're Super Bowls. Goose egg.
Yep, goose.
But back to the draft, KJ. I mean, would you say that looking at this team on paper, the Eagles are the best roster in the NFL right now? If not, who's giving them competition? Who's giving them a run for their money? Who are you afraid of?
I'm not afraid of anybody, and I never really am. I feel like this team is great on paper. I think they have the right pieces. It's a matter of actually putting the pen to the paper. I really feel like it's just putting all these pieces together and just really being able to mold a roster that really can go back to the Super Bowl. I mean, they know how to get there. Kind of like how we were saying before with the Phillies. They know how to get to that big stage, and they've been there before. So there's a lot of players that have won it. There's a lot of players that have not won it, but have been there. So they feel like they want to go back. They have the roster. But I feel like, I feel like the Will Shipley draft selection was kind of iffy because apparently there was a running back who was like 6'3". I'm trying to think his name. I think he went to Wisconsin or something. And he was a big back that we could have used. But Will Shipley's more of like a smaller kind of back. So that's why they went with him, I guess. But yeah, I think honestly we did amazing in the draft, and Howie really he lucked out with getting Cooper DeJean. He really did, and that was really awesome because the Rams could have totally drafted him. It seemed almost like our reverse Justin Jefferson thing, because when we drafted obviously Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson, you were like, you saw the Vikings, they were like surprised that we did that. Now we were surprised that the Rams didn't pick Cooper DeJean. So that's where I feel like this draft was so awesome.
You had your full circle moment where you got
it was
closure.
a full circle moment, and you got these rookies that just seem like they're ready to play. They're ready to play. Quinyon Mitchell's ready to play. I feel like I know that Chris went freaking crazy because he's like, Toledo, he's a player from Toledo.
He still hasn't came on the show to back himself up for that yet.
Not.
He was the guy who wanted Arnold, right?
He wanted Arnold, and I kind of wanted Arnold as well. But I think this guy Quinyon Mitchell though is a great player, and I'm just glad we got Cooper DeJean later instead, because I would have been kind of pissed if we picked Cooper DeJean in the first round. I just don't think he's really like first round material. I think he's going to be an insane player.
I think he's too much of a risk. Like, Quinyon Mitchell's a lock. You know what you're getting with him.
Yeah.
You're getting a lockdown outside corner that Slay's going to be with. Howie Roseman freaking saying, you guys need to live next door to each other. That was hilarious.
Yeah, he did say that. He said,
I want you two sleeping in the same bed. Whoa, Howard, chill.
Did he say that?
No, I think he did say something, though. If you watch the clip back, like, I think either Quinyon or Howie said something like, "Oh, we'll be like hanging out all the time."
Quinyon said I'm moving in with them.
Huh?
Quinyon said I'm moving in with them.
That was it. Yeah. That was it. Like, it's like, all right, you don't got to do all that. Just move in the same neighborhood, hang out.
Slay's got like a bunch of kids, and and we met his wife, who
Super nice. Great
shout out to
family.
Mrs. Slay. She makes really great banana pudding,
Oh
so
my
that's
gosh.
amazing. So that was really good. I think that was, or was that something else? I think it was
No,
banana pudding.
you're right. And I loved Darius's response too. Like you have some asshole troll on Twitter. It's like, what do you think about your replacement coming to Philadelphia? Like, you know what I mean? Like just trying to be like a butthead. And Darius had the perfect reply. He said, I'm happy about it. Because if I do my job right and I train this guy, he's gonna be my replacement. I can't be here forever. It's true. He can't play football forever. He understands that. That's a veteran approach to the game. He's
Yeah,
not intimidated. He's more like, yo, this is an opportunity for me to go get a ring and build my legacy too. That's what the smart players do in football. They understand, hey, this is more talent coming to the team. This guy, he's going to make only the team better. I'm going to make him better. He's going to make me better. Just as much as Darius Slay's teaching Quinyon Mitchell, I'm sure Quinyon Mitchell's going to teach him. I
yeah.
love what you said about DeJean too. DeJean was too much of a risk for me to take in the first round. Great point. Beautiful pick, though, in the second round. Like,
Yeah.
he's going to be like a pick that's a real boomer bust. Reminder like Cooper Kupp. You know what I mean? Kind of like that. Here's a gem. Here's a guy that some people doubted, went lower than he should have. And we're going to be like, boom, told you so. The problem is every year there's more busts than booms of guys like that. But this one I really, really think is a lock. So I was happy with it. And you saw the film, like you said. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles for releasing that film, which I think was amazing. Just like the draft room, what it's like being drafted by the Eagles, the conversations that they're having. And the Eagles legitimately thought that Cooper DeJean went to the Rams. Like KJ said, he didn't. He falls to us. And we get that full circle moment, like KJ
Yep.
saying, like the Vikings had. So I would say the Eagles win the draft, which means that they should win the Super Bowl. And if you guys want to hear more
Or be
about
a
that
contender.
too, the
Be a
Super Bowl
contender.
specifically, go check out the full video on the page where I basically tear into DraftKings and the pros who I think are doubting the Eagles way too much.
Right. Yep.
But that's all I got, unless you got anything else,
No,
KJ.
I got nothing else. I got to head out if that's all right. So,
Yeah,
'cause
I'll get us out of here then. Well, thank you everybody for
yeah.
joining us. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, come hang out next week. And without further ado, hit that outro.